please forgive the tropical climate look. It is very hot in LA today. It's almost 100 degrees, so bear with me. I'm just gonna look sweaty. Hi everybody, my name is Leanna. I'm a fitness coach and former skinny girl on my journey to becoming a muscle mommy. You might know me as Lily Lifts Weights on Instagram, and this is my transformation so far. Now, the question is how? I get asked this a lot, and it's simple. Now, most people who want to gain weight want to gain muscle. Nobody is really out here trying to get obese. If you are, then you can just eat junk food every day and you'll gain weight all right. But you won't be healthy, and chances are you won't feel very good on the inside either because you're not getting any nutrients from that junk food. In America, obesity has been such a problem that the whole fitness industry has been primarily occupied with weight loss. And the term weight gain has negative connotations. Usually it's something bad, something that happens because you let yourself go. And this happens because of the aforementioned junk food. When I was first starting out my fitness journey, I would tell people I want to gain weight because I'm tired of being skinny. And some people would be like, tired of being skinny? Well, when you gain weight, you're just going to be tired of being fat. And I'm like, why is the opposite of skinny fat? And that just goes to show how little knowledge there is about healthy weight gain. Not a lot of people ever really talk about what it's like to go from being super skinny to muscular, especially not women, because we live in a society that wants women to be small and demure and weak. And because the healthy weight gain side of the fitness industry hasn't been as big as the weight loss side, it can feel a little more isolating when you're trying to start a weight gain journey of your own. This video is for those skinny people with the really high metabolisms who want to gain weight in a healthy way. Basically, I'm making this video for me when I started my fitness journey. This process can be broken down into 3 pillars: eat a lot, train a lot, and sleep a lot. That's it. Firstly, you're going to want to pay attention to your calorie intake and macronutrients. I think everybody knows about calories. Calories equals energy, and if you eat more calories than you expend, your body stores the extra as energy, so extra body weight. If you don't know, macronutrients are carbs, fat, and protein. All foods are made up of a different combination of these macros. Cheese, a lot of fat, a lot of protein. Rice, a lot of carbs, a little protein. Non-fat yogurt, a lot of carbs, a lot of protein. I read something recently that really simplifies this whole thing. Calories determine how much you weigh, macros determine how you look, and micronutrients determine how you feel. Micronutrients are the vitamins and minerals found in our food, which is why even though a candy bar is going to be high in carbs and might satisfy your macronutrient goal, you probably shouldn't eat 5 candy bars for dinner instead of rice and a side of veggies because you're going to feel like shit. When anyone says nutrient-rich foods, they're referring to the micronutrients. We need the micros for organ functioning and bodily processes, and that's why you should eat your fruits and veggies. Going back to the macros, hitting a specific carb, fat, and protein goal every single day for an extended period of time is going to change your body. Macros determine how you look, which sounds superficial and might sound like something that only top bodybuilders should care about. But when you think about it, that comes down to muscle mass and body fat, which both have a significant effect on your health. So if you really want the most optimal results for your body, you'll pay attention to all 3: calories, macros, and micros. At the same time, you really shouldn't demonize certain foods. If you want to have a couple of candy bars, chips, cake, have them. There aren't necessarily good and bad foods. I've been doing this for so long that I just really see food as macros now. For me, I love soda. I've always loved soda, so I let myself have a soda, and a lot of the time it helps me hit my carb goal. I always recommend an 80-20 split between the foods that are traditionally healthy and nutrient dense, and then the foods that are indulgent and just for fun. So that being said, how much should you eat? Well, the answer is just a few hundred calories above your daily expenditure. Luckily for us, there are online calculators we can use to figure out that number for ourselves.
All right, so my favorite macro calculator is this one. I'm not sure why. I think I just like the user interface, but all you got to do is you put in your stats. I find the most arbitrary one is the activity. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly how much you do, but just try your best and make an educated guess on what sounds accurate. So once you click calculate, they give you some recommended macros, and I typically like to tweak these. Firstly, protein is way too high. I set mine at 125 because you need zero 0.8 grams to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. It is a lot of protein already, and that is more than enough for me to see some muscle gains. So I don't need 130 something. If you don't really work out, you don't need this much protein, but if you do work out, you do need this much protein to gain muscle, that is. I would hope everybody watching this is somebody who works out or at least wants to be one. So for me, I'm good at 125 for now. That is set. The second thing to set is fat. There is a bare minimum fat requirement that your body needs. The internet says that this is 0.36 to 0.46 grams per pound of body weight. For me, that bare minimum 0.36 number is 46 grams of fat. I am not going to set my daily fat at 46 though, because that is a barely surviving number. That is a bare minimum number. Throughout my whole entire fitness journey, I've experimented with setting fat anywhere between 50 to 70. At 50, I don't feel as hormonally great as I could. PMS lasts longer, periods aren't as regular. But at 70, my periods are regular. I'm feeling good. But I did want it to be slightly lower because 90 to 95% of excess fat in the diet will turn into body fat. However, only 70 to 75% of excess carbs will turn into body fat. So I try to keep fat minimal, and 60 has been a good number so far. Even though I'm feeling lately, I should probably raise it a little tiny bit higher just for better hormones. But the point is, you find out what your best fat number is via trial and error. You can feel it out, but you got to give it time. Lastly, carbs. Carbs are easy because they just fill up the rest. Now, this calorie goal is a little bit higher than what I found works for me. I'm currently at 2100 flat. And you might be asking, well, if the goal is to gain weight, shouldn't higher be better? You got to keep in mind that the higher your calories are, the faster you'll gain weight. And while that seems like it might be good, the faster you gain weight, the more body fat you'll actually put on. And that's because there is a limit to how much muscle you can gain over a certain period of time. I can make another video on this, talking about this more in depth, but just to keep it simple for this video, if you care about limiting your body fat, you want the surplus to be more conservative and just enough so that you gain about 1 pound a month. If you don't care about body fat and you just want to gain a certain amount of weight, you can go crazy. Before we move on, I do want to note that if you are severely underweight to the point where it's actually dangerous for you to be at that weight and your doctor literally tells you that you need to gain weight within a certain time period, listen to them. Don't do the slow weight gain period. Don't even worry about body fat. This is just for people who are, not at risk. Please listen to your doctor.
So you can probably tell by now that it's going to be hard to aim for specific numbers every day unless you have a calorie tracker app. I use MyFitnessPal. I think it's great. Too expensive, but great. There is a free version, but you can barely even do anything with it, so I just pay. There's been a lot of discourse on social media about MyFitnessPal. The issue is it is very triggering for some people who have a very complicated relationship with food. However, I think it's like money. A lot of people have said, money is evil, money corrupts people, but money is a tool, it's a vessel. Good people tend to do good things with money, bad people tend to do bad things with money. It's about the people who use it. So a calorie tracker app is just a tool. It depends on how you use it. For the goal of gaining good weight, I would say having this tool is absolutely essential, and it's going to be 10 times harder to get anywhere without it. Not impossible, but 10 times harder. The longer you track, however, the more easily you'll be able to estimate, like, oh yeah, this piece of chicken definitely has 30 grams of protein in it. And when you have that sort of intuition, you won't necessarily need to track every single thing every single day if you don't want to. But of course, if you want to, it makes it a lot easier. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. You will have to eat more than you want to. That's what a lot of people don't want to hear. The reason your body has been the same and you haven't been gaining weight is because you simply don't eat enough. You just simply cannot get where you've never been unless you do something you've never done. If you want to gain weight, there is a certain degree of force feeding you have to do. And yeah, you're going to be uncomfortable, but guess what? The more you do it, the easier it'll be, because your appetite will increase, your stomach will expand, and you'll actually start to feel hungry. Your body adapts. There's just this initial hump that you have to get over, where you're just eating way more than you want to, way more than you're used to. And you can't just eat right every once in a while. It might help you put on a few pounds, but it'll take much longer than if you were super consistent, intentional, and focused every single day. Of course, I know nobody can be perfect and we all have those off days. Sometimes I do too, but the closer you can be to perfect, the better your results are going to be. And also, if you're a woman, it's also a possibility that maybe there is a mental block there from societal beauty standards. Beauty standards do not favor bigger women. Beauty standards want us to be small. Even if you're not fit, it's generally agreed that being on the skinnier side is probably going to get you more social currency than if you're on the bigger side. If you buy into that idea, even subconsciously, you might not want to eat more. I knew from the start I wanted to gain weight, and since I have gained weight, I've gotten all these curves and I feel more beautiful, more feminine. But even still, when I went from consistently being a size small to a size medium, that was a thing that I had to process. It took some time and it was uncomfortable, and I had to buy new clothes and everything. And it was definitely because I had subconsciously bought into the idea bigger equals worse, small equals better. So really, just ask yourself, is this in any capacity something that stopped me from eating more? Okay, so if you want to gain muscle, the best way to do that is to weight train. It's also pretty much the best way to increase your bone density and prevent osteoporosis and osteoarthritis when you get older. The whole "I don't want to get bulky" argument is part of the agenda to keep women small. You do not get bulky on accident, so don't worry about it if you don't want to get bulky. 3 very important things with training, okay? 1, find somebody you want to look like, figure out how they got their body to look like that, and then do what they do. For me, I really want to look like the Little Beast, and she does powerlifting and power building, which is a combo of powerlifting and bodybuilding. So I do what she does. I tailor my programs and my goals so I can get as strong as her one day. Now, she's lifting in the 300s for reps, okay? And my biggest goal with weight gain has always been get jacked. I cannot look like her if I'm doing yoga and Pilates. That's just the simple truth. Once I lift like her, I'm going to look like her. I think it's important to note that you can never look exactly like anybody else because of genetic differences and muscle attachments, but you can get to a level that is equivalent with where they're at in their journey. You're not going to look like them. You're going to look like you, and you're going to look amazing. So give your body a reason to change into what you want it to be. 2, progressive overload. Lift heavy. When you first go to the gym, you might see some immediate gains. Those are the newbie gains that everybody talks about because you're going from not gymming to gymming. That is a significant change that your body can detect. So your body changes to account for that. But once you are doing the same weights over and over and over and over again for months at a time, your body doesn't have a reason to change anymore. So you have to keep giving your body reasons to change. That means increasing your reps, sets, and weights over time. Make sure you're on a specific training program. You're not just exercising, going to the gym and doing random shit every time. There's a difference between training and exercising, and that is something that I learned pretty late into the game. I think for the first 3 or 4 years, I was just exercising. And in the past 2 years, I've really been training. And I've noticed a significant difference with my body and my numbers. So training, you want to get on a program. Number 3, there is such a thing as too much training. Some people are not motivated. Some people are very motivated, extremely so, where they want to train 7 days a week. Too much, okay? Too much. Beginners can see amazing results with just 3 days a week. At my stage, I'm training 4 to 5 days and it works great. Here's the reason you can't train every day, okay? Recovery. Which brings me to, you need to sleep. Muscle grows during sleep. Why? Training is muscle damage. In the gym, you are making yourself tired. You are making yourself tired on purpose. You are creating these micro tears in your muscle fibers. You're literally tearing them apart. Sleep is when you recover from that damage. It's when your body can work its magic and patch up those tears. It is the recovery that lets your muscles grow bigger. It is just like when you have a cold. You feel like shit all day, and then you go to sleep. The next morning, you wake up feeling slightly better. And with each sleep, you feel yourself getting a little tiny bit better. Why? It's because you're letting yourself recover. And it's the same thing with muscle growth. I feel like people think they understand the significance of sleep. Like in general, it's important. Like, yeah, sleep, of course. But when it comes down to it, it's like, should I stay up and finish this work or go to sleep? Should I stay up and play video games for 2 hours or go to sleep? Should I stay up and talk to my friends for 3 hours or go to sleep? Usually people won't pick go to sleep. And I feel like it's because people don't actually understand how important sleep is. If you are not currently getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night, and I mean sleep, unconsciousness, being unconscious, not just laying in bed for 8 to 9 hours and tossing and turning, 8 to 9 hours of quality sleep, it's time to reevaluate what you're doing and upheave bad habits. Also, I talk about American hustle culture all the time. American hustle culture says it's good to stay up late to do your work. It's good to pull all-nighters to finish this project or whatever, because it means you work hard. Not enough people actually stop to think that this capitalistic world doesn't want you to prioritize yourself or your health because it's the same system that benefits financially from you being sick and unhealthy. Unaffordable healthcare, anyone? I could go on a huge rant about this, but long story short, prioritize your sleep, go to bed at the same time each night, because that helps set your circadian rhythm, which is your body's natural clock. And going to bed at the same time actually helps you wake up at the same time every day, and you won't need an alarm. I recommend to try not to use an alarm if you don't have to, because an alarm will cut off your sleep. It's not you waking up naturally. And because of that, you're not going to be as well rested because there was a lot of recovery that didn't get to happen because you cut yourself off. Try to get 8 to 9 hours more if your body needs it. Just let yourself sleep and the gains will come. And that's pretty much it. Eat a lot, train a lot, and let your body recover, and be as consistent as you can with all three of these, not just the training, and you'll get the results.